Hello, sorry to butt in there. But just before we get started today, I'd like to remind you that the gift is still up for auction, and the proceeds of which will go to Valley Children's Hospital. And the link for that auction, as the donation page for the hospital, can be found in the description of this video. Without any further ado, though, let's get to drawing. Well, welcome to the main segment. So what will we be doing today? Having a panic attack. Now we're going to be sketching out the background, hopefully inking it, getting on the wave effects. I always joke, I say in any hour given session it's normal to have 7 to 52 mini panic attacks. And I always say stressing is a very cathartic, relieving process for me, and that's true. But it can be stressful at the same time. So what I do is I really outline the body of my water. I want to do some inference lines right now, but a lot of it's going to be inked in, really. I'm going to go get some reference real quick. Okay, so for the reference I have my own painting, Resilience. Put this up here. Doesn't look too horrible on camera, does it? Put like, look, we're going to work with it for the moment. This is going to show off what I'm looking for, kind of put to the side. So see, I outlined a lot of my white parts, even in the waves. And then I add the color and whatnot later. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing now, is outlining that. And here, I can kind of put it at an angle. It's kind of trippy. Now what we're doing is like that now. Let's stick this too. So my idea is there's this huge wave crashing down behind them. Even the logo itself is part of the wave. I don't know about putting stuff through my D. Looks like the center of it's going to be purple. I shrink my D down then. This thing just exploding out of the margins. You know what? I'm really going to go wild with it. I didn't draw too much under the tail there. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I think what we're probably gonna have is like some sort of swish and curl. Yeah, I'm gonna use right here a ruler. I'm actually just making a guideline for the moment. That's just messy. I can draw through my fish. Yeah, I could really draw through these two. I don't have to worry about messing them up too much by just, I don't know why I'm being so apprehensive. No, this is permanent. Part of this I'm concerned about because I think that's going to get eaten, so I'm not going to do right there. Some of this I might just ink lightly. I can always go and fix it later. A little splash right there. I'm sorry, I'm getting way too close and getting too low with this. You can't really see what I'm doing, can you? Huh. Just kind of trying to stop and think. Hmm. To make sure not to. I'm just gonna try to erase this hard guideline now. I don't want to freaking ink that. And even on top of some of these, I want to put like little droplets. Hmm. Okay, so now that I got most of my fingers, that's what I call that part of the wave out, I'm going to go, you see how I have these shadowings? I'm going to go kind of outline my white parts, and I know this stuff looks really confusing. Now, I used to make some psychedelic art. Let's see if I can find that in a minute, but it actually kind of helped with this. A lot of people hated that phase in my artistic journey because they didn't understand what I was going for. And it didn't look like what they normally seen out of me, which was portraits. But I think it gave me a lot of technical skill that I couldn't have got otherwise. It really helped me start thinking more abstractly. Although I've always been very imaginative. See if I can find my folders real quick. Okay, I found some stuff. Here's one. This one kind of sucks. Let's see if I can find some good ones here. Here's a nice one I never finished. I want to do like a big cape on the guy. Oh, here's a print of something I made, and I was trying to see it with color before I colored the original. Never ended up coloring the original. Should probably go back and do that. Here's a bit of a self-portrait I did when I was I think I was 23. My mom hates this one. I was really just bored. I was just sitting there drawing to fill time. This isn't my best notebook. This is really just kind of doodles and whatnot, but I have, for some reason, all this art in here. That was the one that you were expecting in the middle of the video. I might need to put some of this in the thumbnail. Oh, this was a roofing logo the people never paid me for. Oh, here's an unfinished one of a bunny girl and a Valkyrie. I'd like to go back and do that. I really liked how the bunny girl looked in this one. This would be a good one for like a painting. It needs to be on a different aspect of paper, for one. I really should go back and finish this one. Okay, here's one. The Bruja. So, interesting story with this one. I was out walking at night one time, and horned owls get extremely aggressive during nesting season. And I gotta tell you, you don't hear anything, and then you hear a screech and it's on top of you. I got swooped by one, and this was my general impression of it. So I drew a Lilith. Oh, here we go. Here's someone I was talking about. I did these ones when I was 15. Tell by how old the paper is. This one still to my day is one of my favorites. I did this after completing Twilight Princess. I really like Xant. Oh, this is one of those things where a lot of my best ones I actually don't have them because they were gifts. Now here's another one. This one, it really shows how the aspect, like this one you can actually view from multiple angles. And it has a lot of faces in it and whatnot. Well, that's kind of actually the stuff I see all the time, just laid over everything. It's like stamping down something I see moving in color. But this one is actually a story. I have this friend, and he has this really horrible, I call it the goblin tattoo on his shoulder. I'll see if I can get him to send me a picture of it to put on the show. Well, anyways, so he was like a teenager, and there was some cholo guy, and he was at his friend's house. I think it was like his brother, and he's like, yo, I need a ride, or something. He's like, I'll give you a tattoo. So the guy pretty much got him to let him practice being his tattoo thing. A tattoo test dummy, and got a ride from him. And what happened is he showed him a boo ghost. And I don't mean to offend when I quote this man. He said, nah, that's gay as shit. I'm not doing that. And he did this grotesque goblin. So I kind of did this. This is my interpretation of that night. Yeah, brain jackass. I hope that picked up on camera. So there's my friend happy as hell. There's the ghost. There's the guy tattooing him. You can actually see even the tattoo gun. And the squiggle lines going into... Oh, I forgot there's a hidden face right there. I have a lot like these that are just unfinished. A cuckoo. whale. Oh, I did this one. I sketched this one after reading a Conan story. This is what got me wanting to write, but then my adventure story, I ended up pulling it. I didn't think it'd do so well. I don't like Conan's face. That's just a picture of my friend, really, and I cut his eye out. He looks Middle Eastern-y in life. I like the bird. I really like this guy and like the hands and the pomegranate and the building. It's probably my favorite part. I just think if I took that, it would be a much better drawing. Pretty much, I drew this part and this part, and I felt jazzed, and you can see I started losing steam. I was just doodling with that, though. Oh, here's one of the languages I made. I made quite a bit of coded languages. Okay, that appears to be everything in that binder. But you can see the relevance to how those kind of line works helped with this, and the complicated nature of the lines and whatnot. Transversor. See how it's splishing up here? I don't like that anymore. I want a splish here. I want like maybe like this. That's much better. And then right here, where it's swishing, it should start like yeah, we'll go with these ones. Okay. I think I need to stop pussyfooting around, just ink it. The only good thing is if I mess it up, I can kind of hide it in the shadowing, and hopefully I don't have to show you that, but if I show you that, I show you that. So let's just start inking. I'm going to start up here, because I really like the lines up here. And I'm going to try to change them a bit. I'm going to try to make them less me and more Pokemon. It's like a Nidoking, his spikes. They're not perfect spikes. Gyarados doesn't have perfect spikes. He has like these weird triangle-y things. It goes out and it gets back, gets 1 point, another point, then in. It doesn't just go out and like a normal drop, and I really like that. And when I started doing that with my own art, it really fit with my general style. See, like some of these I'm just going a little more hog wild with them. You go back in the line. Don't start at the end of it where you left off. You start in the line. Boom. See, now I'm making it like a lot better. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in these Poke letters, and I'm going to erase some of this stuff. So by the way, has anyone seen the new Pokemon release, the, what is it, Pokepedia or whatever? I like the Derpy Ditto girl. People are really excited about some of them saying they're like new forms, like the Schmergle and the Snorlax covered in moss and the white Pikachu. Now, I will say with Schmergle, he almost made it in the painting, by the way, but I never really... I started liking him later in life. All the Pokemon in here are ones that have been with me a long time. I didn't even know Schmergle existed for a long time because how rare he was in my initial game. I found out about him through the cards. But, like, he can change the color of the paint. I know his shiny's green.
I mean, his normal one's green and his shiny's red. The paint's red. But, like, actual Schmergles, Schmergai, they can, oh no, wait, the plural of every Pokemon is just the Pokemon's name. So yeah, pretty much they can choose what color paint they want. I think it's part of their diet or something. I know he's got like a little painted on mustache, but that can all just be part of it. And that's the same thing with the Snorlax being mossy. Like, I'm getting the vibes that you're helping rebuild an area. That could be environmental storytelling. I kind of thought the same thing with the Pikachu. But if you look at it, and I haven't heard too many people talk about it, its tail looks stuck. It kind of looks more like a Pichu tail. So it might be a variant. I'll give them that. I think some of it might just be more first environmental storytelling. How I was talking about last time, how a lot of Pokemon they don't look as uniform as we tend to think of them. Again, Schmergle, like you'd have a pack of Schmergle, they'd all have different colored tails. I don't like that white spot. There we go. You okay, Bubba? You're a good boy. I think a lot of people might enjoy it, though. It'll be like Pokemon Rangers was. Kind of the vibe I'm getting. Okay, this pen is just me up. I'm censoring myself a bit. I was talking to another Pokemon artist, and he does like, say more mature art. Like gory, and he said that he has to post in normal art groups, because when he posts in Pokemon groups, sometimes it gets a bad reaction. I mean, I can kind of see it. It worked perfectly fine until I put it in the good area. You've seen me test it in the margin. This is one of those things, a lot of the imperfections are going to be hidden by the paint, though. I need to find the right pin for this. I also need to start testing somewhere else, because this picture's obviously getting outside the margins. And I kind of want to frame all of it. Like I'm gonna regret framing this one a bit, I think. Yeah. I am affording myself many opportunities for difficulty. Freaking 10 points if anyone knows what that quote's from. I'll tell you what. Changing pens again. Jerry? Have it over here. No, this is, by the way, kind of my idea for my next fish tank. I have a statue like this and just kind of like a You know those sunken cities in China? I kind of want it to look like that. The ones that they sunk to make the dams. I think there's like the Jackie Chan episode about it. It was like Uncle's home and they got the mirror with the ghost in it. Since it's goldfish. They come from China. But you are what you eat. I'm not going to finish Klaus's song there. 5 seconds ago, I'm trying to speak better. 2 seconds later, making jokes about cuddlingus. That's a big word. I don't think most people know what that means. It's when you're munching your Meowth. I love Meowth, by the way. Like, not as a Pokemon, but just as a person. Like, he's so relatable. What is that dot doing in there? See, I didn't take a lot of color out, but I don't want to forget about it, so I'm just going to go in now and ever so lightly. Oh, you're my best friend in the world we must defend. And catch 'em all. It's my destiny. I'll teach you and you teach me how to draw Pokemon. Maybe I should do more like instructions on how to draw the Pokemon themselves. Like, you know, standard art, they'll teach you how to draw models and whatnot, and you draw around, like, shapes, and you draw around them and whatnot, and you get to a certain point where you kind of mix those steps and skip ahead. But next time I do these guys, I guess I could do that more, breaking them down in the basic shapes and explaining how to actually draw these. I mean, my original intent behind these videos was education. I had actually, my niece, I made some videos for her. I bought her some art supplies for her birthday. And I just made like a basic video kind of showing her some principles and aspect and ratio and talking about how to use her supplies. And I thought, you know, instructional paint videos are kind of fun. I also was tired of missing out on things I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy YouTube, so I was like, I need to just incorporate everything together. I feel to an extent too, art is performative, but it's also temporary. Like, nothing lasts forever. Like, some art is meant to be seen as a second, like that flash art, or the rice tossing. Or it's meant to degrade or break down. That's like one thing, like if so me making these videos is kind of in its way also art and part of the art. This will be like if someone wanted to troll me, like if they wanted to buy one and then they did a video of them burning it, you actually like added to the artistic value of it. Not only of the videos of the piece, like that becomes part of the piece, it being burnt and destroyed. This pen is pissing me off. It's gonna fuck my shit up. So what I do with my pencils, by the way, here, I do them like this, and I grab from the top, and when I get mad I throw one at the bottom, I keep going to the top. Yeah, my idea of art is a bit more organic and living. And my idea of life is pretty basic too. I mean, like, I question if fire's alive in a way. And that breathes, it consumes, it grows. You see how I was having direction, then I changed the direction I was moving the pin? Sometimes that really helps. But I really wish you could just stay asleep. I'm tired of pausing what I'm doing every 2 seconds for you to do that.
What pause?
Me, I'm having to stop what I'm doing. Can you go back to sleep, please? Thank you. You might be able to tell that this is my strong suit. I actually used to hate watercolor, and acrylic was my favorite, but I hate mixing the colors and waiting for them to dry, or them drying and just constantly having to mix and match color, or not doing it and having your colors look horrible. I still use it for some things, but especially like the kind of cartoons, the kind of art I like, that's how they were all done. So if I want to imitate certain looks, I have to use a proper medium, right? No, you must use a large, do not skimp. This is America. See, right here I can go whoop. I can go whoop. I'm leaving the space behind my drowsy kind of blank because I think I can just infer a lot later with color. Like a lot of these parts, that's what they're going to be. Let's flip it around like this. I'm a little up out of the ink. It's getting me good, but I'm getting a bad angle with the curve. I have to be able to curve my hand a certain way, and you know, your morphology dictates some of that. That's why I like natural lines. I'd much rather draw a lake scene than like a city scene, you know? Or a bunch of cars. See how the Gyarados spikes are kind of mixing in? It's also why I like drawing the water like this, because it's I think that's one of the horrors of the sea serpent, is you don't see it till it's popping out, you know? And he, like, I always looked at Gyarados as Lord of the Storm. So it's like he looks like the torrent waves he creates. That's also why I like these, like I did the other one too, where I have them mixed in with these stormy waves. In my head, that's part of the lore. I don't like this background one though, so I'm actually going to draw around it. I'm going to pencil that. I might leave this space open so I can have some of the brick here. Yeah, I think I will, because then I'll make it really look like it'll drive home that splash effect. Just seeing some drops on there. I don't know if you've seen water when it pulls apart, but you often have it come and there's a little dots trailing behind it. It's kind of what I'm trying to do there. Okay, what's next? There we go. These layers help give the 3D effect too. How I have the fingers branching and all these different like water dots. And of course when I add shadow to it, there's going to be like the dots will be putting shadow on the ones under them. It'll infer a lot more. Okay, that looks pretty solid for me. Man, this is going to look so messy. Especially once they... You're not going to get a lot of the brickwork. Like, it's going to barely shine through. That might help with some of these blotches in the background. And then their tags are really going to shine over it. Yeah, this thing's going to be insane. I'll see if I can get my friend to send me a picture of the first thing I did with the brickwork that kind of inspired me to do this. It's a bit funny. This has been really fun for me today, though. I'm sure this looks a bit like a chaotic, stumbly mess for you. So I'm sure if you're this far in the video, you're really excited to see how it turns out. So make sure to come back. I will be finishing this up here really soon. Looks like the next steps will be painting the background. I'll probably start with the fish and the tail, and then the waves, and then I'll be inking up the words, and then filling in the final background elements, and I will finish by signing it with these guys' tags. And then probably another video framing it. But until then, stay safe, and I hope to see you back again.